All right, buckle up because this is 20 years of feelings marinating in silence. He's standing there, looking at the woman he has secretly loved for 2 decades. 20 years. That's not a crush. That's a full-time emotional career, and before he can process a single rational thought, Unsu suddenly scoots closer and leans right into his arms. The girl he has loved from a safe emotional distance is now physically 0 inches away. And what does he do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He freezes like a man who just realized his internal thoughts might have been playing out loud when he tries to gently push her away. For survival reasons, she presses even closer. Every time he resists, she hugs him tighter. And Sunwoo, this poor man is so nervous he doesn't sleep the entire night. Not a wink. He's just lying there like, don't move, don't breathe, don't combust. Now, let's rewind a little. Han Sunwoo is a photographer, the quiet, observant, artistic type. And Lee Unsu, she's his childhood best friend. The girl he's known since they were kids. In Sunwoo's camera lens, Unsu is always the most beautiful person in the world. And not just in a good lighting way. In a, I've been in love with you for 20 years way. Unsu works as a lyricist. She finally gets a rare opportunity to submit a song she poured her heart into. She's hopeful, confident. This is her moment. The producer listens, nods, and then hits her with the emotional equivalent of, "It's not you, it's me." He says the song is good, but it's too bright, too cheerful. It lacks the raw ache of unrequited love. It doesn't feel real enough, so he rejects it. Ouch! Unsu is stunned. She wrote it sincerely. How is it not emotional enough? Refusing to give up, she begs for 2 more weeks to revise the lyrics, 2 weeks to somehow inject heartbreak into something she doesn't even believe in. Like she always does when life punches her in the face, she vents, she rants. She flops dramatically into frustration. She says she doesn't get what's so special about unrequited love. If your heart flutters, shouldn't you just confess? Why does it have to be tragic and miserable? Why does love have to hurt? And Sunwoo, who has basically been majoring in silent suffering for 20 years, quietly explains. He tells her love lets you express your feelings freely. But unrequited love, that's different. Even when you want to confess, you swallow the words, you hold it in, you smile like everything's fine. Unsu pauses. That sounded personal. She asks how he understands it so well. Has he experienced it? And now we go 4 years back. When the photography contest rankings were about to be announced, Sunwoo had planned to confess to her. He had the gift ready, the timing picked. This was it. But then, the results came out, and he placed second. Second, Unsu was furious, not at him, at the world. She couldn't believe he wasn't Tan first. She even wanted to protest the results like this was the Olympics and a judging scandal had just happened. At the same time, Unsu was recovering from a cheating ex-boyfriend. She decided she was done writing sad songs. No more heartbreak anthems. She was moving forward. A friend casually suggests, "Why don't you just date Sunwoo?" And Unsu shuts it down immediately. Nope, absolutely not. She's terrified that if they ever broke up, they'd lose their friendship too. She wants them to stay together forever. As friends, safe, stable, no risk. And right there, Sunwoo hears everything. So he quietly buries his confession. He understands her fears. He chooses their friendship over his own feelings. He sits alone in disappointment and puts away the gift he had prepared. 20 years of love. Back into storage. Now back to the present. To better understand unrequited love for her lyrics, Unsu comes up with a bold idea. Sunwoo should live with her for 2 weeks and help her write. Yes, move in, for research. Because nothing says emotional clarity like cohabitating with your secret admirer. Sunwoo refuses at first. He's afraid. If things get messy, their lifelong bond could crack. But fate intervenes. One night, a drunk Unsu nearly gets hit by an electric scooter on the way home. Sunwoo rushes in, steadying her like he always does. He gently lends her his jacket, stays by her side, makes sure she's safe. At a claw machine, she suddenly declares that if she catches a doll, he has to move in with her. She fails, naturally, and instead of accepting defeat, she tries to reach into the machine herself, like that's a valid life strategy. Sunwoo has to physically pull her back before she climbs in there. The next morning, guess who shows up at her door? Sunwoo. Apparently his roommate's girlfriend is staying over, and he suddenly has nowhere else to go. Convenient? Maybe? Fate? Definitely. So he moves in. And just like that, they're living together. Sunwoo cooks. Unsu preps. Ingredients. They clean side by side. Domestic bliss, but with unresolved tension simmering harder than the soup on the stove. After dinner, Unsu suggests pairing the food with makioli, a Korean rice wine. Before she realizes it, she's had way too much. Sunwoo tries to get her to go to her room, but she refuses. She insists on sleeping right there. Afraid she'll get cold, he gently covers her with a blanket. Then he lies beside her. Quiet. Careful. Awake until morning again. When Unsu slowly opens her eyes, they lock gazes. And that eye contact, dangerous? Later, while using Sunwoo's computer, Unsu accidentally discovers something. Folders. Dozens of them, all about her. Photos of her from every single year, every stage of her life. Carefully saved. Suddenly, Sunwoo's words about unrequited love echo in her mind. Swallowing your feelings, holding them in. She had assumed he was in love with someone else. She had even felt a little jealous. And now she's starting to realize. She may have completely misunderstood the entire story. She remembers waking up drunk in Sunwoo's arms. She remembers him whispering that she was driving him crazy. And now, even while brushing her teeth, toothpaste foam and all, those words are on replay in her head like a dramatic background soundtrack. You're driving me crazy, ma'am. That is not a casual sentence. At breakfast, Sunwoo, acting way too calm for a man with 20 years of suppressed feelings, casually asks if she heard anything while she was asleep. Her heart sprinting, her face trying to stay neutral. Meanwhile, Sunwoo listens to her newly revised song. He nods, thinks, and then drops another emotional truth bomb. The lyrics are still too weak. He asks her something very specific. If the only thing you can do with the person you love is let your fingertips barely touch, wouldn't be unbearably sad? And suddenly, it clicks for Unsu. This isn't theory. This isn't research. These are his feelings. So she reaches out and lightly touches his fingertip. Sunwoo freezes, like full system shutdown. Then she grabs his hand. He freezes again. At this point, this man is basically a human statue. Frustrated but oddly sincere, Unsu sighs and says, "If you can just hold someone like this, shouldn't that be enough? Excuse me, ma'am." She then suggests they go for a walk, because apparently fresh air is the solution to emotional chaos. As they walk, she asks if this is the same feeling he has toward the person he loves from afar. And Sunwoo finally admits something real. The hardest part of unrequited love isn't just silence, it's wanting to give someone everything. And knowing you can't. Unsu then says there's something she wants. Sunwoo, stunned again. This man is living in a constant state of emotional whiplash. In the end, instead of confessing anything dramatic, they quietly share chocolate together, which honestly might be more intimate than a full declaration. Unsu suddenly asks why there are foods Sunwoo loved as a kid but doesn't eat anymore, and he casually says it's because she liked them back then. So he ate them to match her taste. Sir, that is not casual. That is devotion. Soon after, they go together to meet the producer Unsu admires. The producer takes one look at them and immediately assumes they're a couple. Unsu quickly shuts that down. No, we're just very close friends. Sunwoo internally, buffering. The producer places an orange-flavored drink in front of Unsu. Without missing a beat, Sunwoo swaps it with his own, saying she hates orange flavor. But Unsu calmly says she's always liked it. And suddenly, jealousy activated. Sunwoo snatches the drink back and chugs it in one go like he's in a competitive sport. To make his displeasure extra obvious, he even makes weird, exaggerated drinking noises. Yes, he is that petty. On the way home, Unsu is annoyed at his rude behavior. Sunwoo, still sulking, retreats to his studio like a wounded artist. When his friend finds out Sunwoo plans to confess to Unsu before leaving the country, he encourages him. No more hiding, no more swallowing feelings. So Sunwoo gathers every ounce of courage he has and goes to apologize to Unsu. But plot twist, she beats him to it. She shows up with flowers to apologize first. These two are allergic to letting the other feel bad. After making up, they happily go grocery shopping together. Domestic, soft, suspiciously, couple-like. Sunwoo even buys chocolate specifically for her, and the moment they get home, they are greeted by Unsu's mother. Surprise! Unsu quickly explains that Sunwoo is only staying temporarily. Her mother calmly pulls out chairs for them. And then tarot cards. Yes, tarot cards. She tells Sunwoo to focus on what's troubling his heart and choose 3 cards with his left hand. He does, and Unsu's mother immediately reads him like an open book. First card, he has someone he loves, and it's pure, genuine. Second card, endless sincerity. Third card, it reveals where the person he loves is. Sunwoo is visibly flustered. Unsu's mother looks at him and says the person he likes is far away, emotionally far, perhaps. After that, she packs up to leave. But before going, she hands Sunwoo the last card and says it's a lucky charm. Later, while eating, Unsu randomly says she wants to experience what the air feels like at 4:40 a.m. Sunwoo immediately says he would never do something that crazy. Cut to him absolutely doing something that crazy, because of course he goes with her. That night, fate working overtime, Unsu accidentally opens folders on Sunwoo's computer. Folders filled with photos of her, every single year, every stage of her life. Only then does she realize something huge. The man she thought was photographing landscapes has actually been photographing her all along. And right at that moment, Sunwoo walks out. When he notices her on his laptop, she quickly switches the screen and jokes that she was just checking if there were any couple photos inside. Then she casually adds that his colleague urgently sent him a photo. She's covering. Because now she knows. Now she fully realizes that Sunwoo has been secretly in love with her. So she carefully tests him. She asks when he started liking that person, and Sunwoo refuses to say because after 20 years of silence, vulnerability is still the scariest thing of all. So when Unsu sees that Sunwoo is clearly getting upset, she backs off. For once, she stops pushing. But now she can't focus on her lyrics at all. Her mind is spinning, her heart is confused, and in pure dramatic fashion, she rips up her draft. Because obviously tearing paper solves emotional crises. Then suddenly, she remembers something, an old lyric notebook. She digs it out, and immediately freezes. Sunwoo's name is written on the cover. Inside, old photos she had pasted herself years ago, and over one of them, right above Sunwoo's head, she had scribbled the word idiot. Romantic, truly poetic. Armed with new clarity, she brings her revised lyrics to the producer. And this time, he approves it. Not only that, she's invited to dinner with the singer. This is huge. Unsu is thrilled. She runs to tell her best friend, who is genuinely excited for her. After celebrating for approximately 2 seconds, the friend asks the real question. Did you tell Sunwoo yet? Unsu says no, and then starts spiraling out loud. How does a 15-year friendship even turn into marriage? Is that normal? Is there a rule book? Her friend laughs. There's nothing strange about it. If you didn't like him yesterday but like him today, that's enough. The friend's husband casually asks whether Sunwoo already confessed, and instead of denying it, the friend just looks pleased. Unsu is confused. How did they know? Apparently, it was obvious. All you had to do was look at Sunwoo's eyes. They've known for a while. They tease Unsu for only realizing it now. They tell her to take this chance seriously. Think carefully, and deep down, Unsu admits something terrifying. She may never find someone like Sunwoo again, but when she imagines spending 2/3 of her life with him, she feels scared. What if it doesn't work? What if he gets hurt? What she doesn't know is that Sunwoo is preparing to go abroad. Meanwhile, Sunwoo isn't happy at all. He stares at the photos on his wall, his dreams, his work. Everything he's built and woven through all of it are Unsu's expectations. She was the one who gave him his first camera. She believed in him before anyone else did. He's living the life she once imagined for him, and now he might walk away from her. When Unsu comes home looking down, Sunwoo is waiting with flowers, apologizing first, as usual. She forgives him instantly. She feels guilty for not considering his feelings, for constantly questioning him. for poking at wounds she didn't understand. And finally he answers the question she's been asking. He realized he liked her 8 years ago, because she was the only person besides his mother who truly believed in him. No matter what he wanted to do, no matter what he'd already done, she always trusted him, always told him he was the best. And yes, he had been planning to confess. Unsu, completely flustered, she steps outside to breathe and runs straight into him at the door. She braces for a dramatic confession. Instead, he quietly wraps a scarf around her neck. No speech, no pressure, just warmth. Later, when she sees him fixing the bicycle she loves, something clicks inside her. He's always been here, always steady. But then Sunwoo gently asks when she'll be home, and panic mode activates. She blurts out that she has a dinner gathering and might not come back until morning, and she runs. Sunwoo waits, and waits, and waits. He keeps calling her, no answer. Meanwhile, Unsu has no idea he's at home, staring at the door, checking his phone over and over. When it gets late, too late, he can't sit still anymore. He rushes out to look for her. At the same time, Unsu's dinner wraps up. The producer suggests continuing the night somewhere else. She can't really refuse, so she follows him to a more upscale restaurant. And then, plot twist, the producer confesses. He tells her that what makes her attractive isn't just her talent. It's how seriously she takes her work, the way she agonizes over a single lyric, the way she gets nervous because she cares. He gently tells her not to rush her answer, take her time, and right then, Sunwoo walks in. Of course he does. He sees everything, but instead of exploding or confronting anyone, he pretends it's a coincidence. He casually says he came to buy medicine and a bottle of wine for a friend celebrating something good. The producer finds that odd. Who buys wine at a wine bar like it's a convenience store? Sunwoo awkwardly explains he's just looking for something that pairs well with food. He even tastes the dishes and compliments them. Yes, he is fake, casually taste testing while emotionally imploding. Unsu senses the tension and quickly makes an excuse to leave. As the producer stands up, Sunwoo reaches for what looks like a wine bottle, but it's not. It's the scarf Unsu dropped earlier, the one he wrapped around her neck. And suddenly, the entire night feels heavier than ever. Sunwoo looks down at the glass of wine in front of him and asks very casually whether Unsu likes it. The producer answers confidently, like he knows exactly what she prefers. And right then Unsu comes back. But Sunwoo, he doesn't leave. He stays seated. Sunwoo, clearly overwhelmed and a little dizzy, says she wants to go home. Only then does Sunwoo finally stand up. Before walking away, he politely asks the producer to make sure she gets home safely. Yes, he just handed off the girl he loves, like he's signing a delivery confirmation. Later, Sunwoo meets up with his friend and finally says everything he's been holding in. He says that as long as he can see Unsu smile, that's enough for him. Wrapping a scarf around her on cold days feels like his responsibility. He doesn't need anything grand. He just wants her to feel comfortable when she's with him. He admits he almost let her figure out his true feelings. But then he remembered something. Unsu doesn't even like red wine, yet she drank it that night. And suddenly, he realizes what that might mean. So instead of fighting for her, he decides to let go, to genuinely support her. Because loving her, for him, has always meant choosing what makes her happy. When Unsu gets home, she notices the bicycle he repaired for her. That night, she sits by the window until morning, holding his scarf, replaying his words about planning to confess to the person he loves. She finally calls him. No answer. Early the next morning, she rushes to Sunwoo's studio, only to find out he's leaving the country immediately, and he'll be gone for at least a year. Back at home, she encourages him to choose his dream. She tells him their friendship will always be there for him. Friendship. That word again. Having already decided to let go, Sunwoo gently tells her to take care of herself. He'll be leaving tomorrow. At the bus stop for the airport shuttle, he nags her like a worried parent. Eat properly. Don't skip meals. Dress warmly. Lock the door. The full checklist. After seeing him off, she receives a message from him. He says he used all the oranges she hates to make orange marmalade. 8 years ago, the day before he left, once before, he did the exact same thing, nagging her endlessly, history repeating itself. They part reluctantly, After he leaves, Unsu finally breaks down. What she doesn't know is that halfway through the night, Sunwoo turns back. He worries she might get caught in the rain after work. So he comes back, only to see her crying because of him. And in that moment, he doesn't know what to do. This time, Unsu can't stop crying, because she finally understands something. She has also been secretly in love with Han Sunwoo. For 8 years, waiting suddenly becomes unbearable. Slowly, she starts eating the orange marmalade he made, the very thing she used to hate. Every meal she cooks, she shares a photo with him. Whenever he sends a message, her face lights up. In winter, she still wraps herself in the scarf he gave her. Time passes. A year goes by. Unsu gets promoted. She becomes a recognized, respected lyricist. And then, she receives an invitation to collaborate with a top music star. The first people she runs to tell, her closest friends. Her friend is so excited she wants to tag along just to see the famous musician working, even if it's from far away. Her husband jokes that she can just watch videos online. She immediately snaps back, saying if Sunwoo were here, he would have taken her side. Unsu quietly agrees. Even now, Sunwoo and Unsu keep in touch once or twice a week. She tells him about the collaboration offer. She remembers how, when he was beside her, he would always encourage her to talk about her feelings. Back then, she had set her goal on working with this very artist, someone Sunwoo admired too, a singer whose songs he could listen to all day without getting tired. The next day, Unsu goes to Sunwoo's studio with a bag of oranges. She's looking for an old ID photo she once took there, but instead, something else catches her eye. At the very center of the photo wall is a picture of her. Not a landscape, not a project, her. She wonders when he took it. And in the lower right corner of that photo is the same tarot card he drew the last time they played tarot together. Unsu just stands there, staring at it, lost in thought. Right then, Sunwoo's colleague gets a call from him. Unsu lights up. She wants to talk to him, but the call ends quickly. The signal is bad. He can't stay on long. And once again, they miss each other by just a little bit. Unsu is already feeling disappointed about the missed phone call when her phone rings again. It's the producer. He invites her to dinner and, because this man believes in consistency, brings up his confession again. This time, Unsu doesn't dodge it. She's honest. She admits she lied before. She doesn't actually like drinking red wine. She thanks him sincerely. Without his support, she wouldn't have gotten this far in her career. She even admits that at one point, her heart did flutter. But being in those upscale, polished environments, it makes her feel heavy, like she's wearing someone else's life. She thought maybe she could train herself to like red wine, to adjust, to adapt. But in the end, she couldn't. The producer sighs. Now he understands why Sunwoo asked that question about the wine that night. At the time, he didn't realize what the bitterness in Sunwoo's expression meant. But he gets it now. Even so, he promises he won't stop working with her. Professionally, at least, he's not backing down. When Unsu gets home, the house is unusually clean. Suspiciously clean. Without thinking, she calls out Sunwoo's name, and nearly jumps out of her skin when her mother answers instead. Her mother hands her a letter. It's the confession letter Sunwoo had prepared, the one he never got to give her. Unsu, now fully shaken, asks if her mom still has the tarot cards. With a sincere heart, she draws 3. First card, a new opportunity. Second card, determination. Third card, the exact same card Sunwoo drew last time. Unsu assumes it means someone far away, but her mother calmly drops the truth. That was a lie. She only told Sunwoo that back then because she saw his secret feelings about to spill out, and she wanted to protect him. The card never meant someone far away. It meant the person right in front of him. Unsu asks why her mother lied. Her mom explains she could see how fragile that moment was. Sometimes protecting someone means stepping in quietly. Then she tells Unsu something important. Opportunities come and go, but making a decision that only takes a moment. And when the timing is right, you have to take it. After thinking carefully, Unsu chooses to keep the second card. Determination. The next day, fate decides it's done waiting. Unsu unexpectedly runs into Han Sunwoo. The two people who secretly loved each other for 20 years meet again after being apart for one. Soon after, Sunwoo comes to her house. He brings her all kinds of chocolates, because of course he does, and even prepares a brand new notebook for songwriting. Unsu complains that he didn't reply to her messages. She was worried something had happened. Sunwoo casually explains that he was going to text her at the airport, but deliberately decided to show up in person instead. He wanted to see her reaction. "Sir, you dramatic king." Unsu notices the flowers he brought and feels a little disappointed. Are those for someone else? While helping her mom take out Sunwoo's scarf, she accidentally finds something tucked inside. Curious, she opens it. Inside is a note and a necklace. The note reads, "I hope every moment of your life has me by your side." At this point, there is no more guessing. Sunwoo likes her very much. She takes out the tarot cards her mother gave her. She hesitates, breathes, then gathers her courage and sends him a message saying she has something she wants to tell him. But then reality interrupts. The flowers he brought, not for her, and he's only staying for 10 days. 10. Suddenly, Sunwoo leans closer, gently pats her head, and tells her she's amazing, that she finally achieved her dream. When he checks his phone right after, Unsu feels her heart sink a little. Wrong timing again? But then he tells her to grab her coat. They're heading out. Turns out the flowers were for a friend's birthday. After the birthday celebration, the two of them take a quiet walk together. And finally, Sunwoo asks about the message she sent earlier. What did she want to say? Unsu looks at him for a long time. A very long time. But she still can't confess. Instead, she tells him to take care of himself while abroad. She wraps the scarf around his neck and teases him, asking if he's forgotten how cold winters are in Korea. Those were the exact words he had once said to her. Full circle. The next morning, Unsu brings desserts to Sunwoo's studio, but when she arrives, someone else has already brought plenty of snacks. And just like that, we're left wondering, will 20 years of love finally be spoken out loud? Or are these two going to keep missing each other by one tiny heartbreaking moment? So, they're at the studio, and just after Unsu and Sunwoo sit down, he gets called out by his junior. And when Unsu finds out the girl is his junior, her disappointment level immediately rises. Because the girl is young, cute, energetic, and very comfortable around Sunwoo. Too comfortable. While they edit photos together, Unsu watches their interactions, the shared laughs, the easy teamwork, and jealousy quietly starts simmering. After going home, she opens her personal songwriting notebook and writes, "Sunwoo, what should I do?" Then underneath it, "Do nothing, endure." Then she scratches that out. No, don't endure anymore. That is the most relatable emotional spiral ever written. Just as she's drowning in her thoughts, she gets a message from Sunwoo inviting her to a studio dinner. Instant mood shift. She changes outfits like she's about to attend the Met Gala and rushes over. When she arrives, Sunwoo and his junior are still working, focused, close, laughing, jealousy activated. Unsu dramatically throws away the late-night food she brought. She takes off her coat loudly for attention. Nothing. No reaction. She sits next to them and casually grabs Sunwoo's camera to play with it. The junior immediately warns her it's expensive and tells her not to damage it. Unsu slowly puts it down. Then she picks up a roll of film. Again, don't touch that. At this point, Unsu is spiritually screaming, so she just sits there, quietly bitter, listening to them talk. While drinking, she looks at the photo wall and notices something missing. Sunwoo's tarot cards aren't there anymore. She walks outside the studio and sits alone, pulling out her own tarot cards like she's consulting the universe directly. Right then, she hears Sunwoo escorting the junior out. She quickly hides, and then she overhears the junior acting cute and asking Sunwoo to date her. Bold move. Sunwoo clearly says they are only senior and junior. Nothing more, but the junior still insists he come see her tomorrow. After she leaves, Unsu remains outside, overwhelmed. Then Sunwoo calmly says, "You can come out now." He knew. Of course he knew. When she steps out, he's about to call a cab to send her home. She stops him, claiming she ate too much and wants to walk instead. On the walk, she casually mentions that his junior seems to like him a lot. She says her Sunwoo is different. Most people would have said yes, after being confessed to that many times, but he didn't. As they walk, she carefully tests him. "Should we date?" Sunwoo gently reminds her that she once said they could only be friends. He says he rejected others because Unsu wanted them to stay lifelong friends, never separating. She pushes further, mentioning their married friends who went from friendship to love. Sunwoo says they're just an exception, and then he finds an excuse to send her home to rest. After he leaves, regret hits her hard. At home, she writes in her notebook, "Why did I only realize this now? I'm such a fool. I can't be careless anymore." Then she checks her calendar and realizes the day he's leaving the country again is coming soon. The next day, as she's heading out, she sees the bicycle he repaired for her. She remembers how he taught her to ride, holding the exact same spot. Without thinking, she gets on. She pedals, then suddenly stops, because in that moment, everything becomes clear. She pulls out her phone and asks Sunwoo to meet her. That evening, Sunwoo arrives at their friend's place. Unsu is already there. He wonders why the couple isn't home. She explains she borrowed the place. Because she has something to say, she takes out the lyrics she wrote the night before and tells him she couldn't write the final line because of him. She stayed up all night, going back and forth in her thoughts, and finally realized she can't keep suppressing her feelings. It hurts too much. She confesses something else. When Sunwoo went to the military years ago, she cried terribly. What she didn't know, he saw her. Back then, she thought she was just losing a friend. Someone to eat instant noodles with at dawn. Someone who would wrap a scarf around her when it was cold. Someone she could complain to about life. But when he left a year ago, she finally understood. That wasn't friendship, that was love. She once believed a crush was supposed to feel sweet and exciting. But when she thought about Sunwoo, her chest felt heavy, aching, breathless, and what hurt most, realizing he had endured that feeling alone for years. She apologizes for not seeing him, for not noticing his love sooner. Sunwoo listens quietly. Then he takes her lyric notebook and writes the final line, the line that should have been written a year ago. Then he stands up and pulls her into his arms, firmly, without hesitation. Their friends are there as witnesses. And finally, after 20 years, they stop walking in circles and walk toward love. And that, my friends, is how you do slow burn. If you've ever loved someone quietly, if you've ever been one confession away from happiness, if you've ever realized your best friend was actually your person, then you know why this story hits. 20 years, 1 year apart, one final line. If you felt that confession in your chest, hit like. If you got a Sunwoo or an Unsu in your life, share this with them. And if you love stories where timing is everything, subscribe, because we're not done crying together yet. Drop a comment. Did you know she loved him back? Or were you yelling at your screen for 5 episodes straight? I'll see you in the next love story.